The Papa's Game series has been a beloved collection of Flash games for millions of players since the mid-2000s. Yet for years, nobody has tried to figure out how or why these games have the major events they do. Through over a decade of games, I believe that I have found an inescapable rabbit hole of plot that all trickles down into an ever-growing corrupt monopoly led by Papa Louie, a criminal mastermind who single-handedly took control of his country to his benefit. In this universe, he is either the most dangerous man alive or the most oblivious. This series takes place in the fictional world called the Flipverse. Now, the Flipverse is a landmass of unknown size, yet it's large enough to have at least 3 time zones. I was initially considering the idea of the map being 1,000 by 1,000 miles. The island is definitely large enough for a modernized society with multiple towns, as every game tends to be in a different major location. A more similar comparison would be the largest island of Hawaii, for example, which would be slightly larger than 10,000 square miles. Also, assuming that the release date of each game is considered the point that the opening cutscene plays at each game, we can assume that at some point, likely years before the first game, in the town of Tastyville, Papa Louie opens a pizzeria. He names this pizzeria Papa's Pizzeria. At some point, Papa Louie decides to host a free pizza day, like the nice guy he is, which leads us to November 6, 2006. Free pizza day has arrived. It's pretty nice of him to do this for the community, but Louie and Roy have a ton of work to make up for it. And as a result, Louie makes sentient pizzas on accident, and as punishment, Louie, Roy, and over a dozen innocent customers are sent to Munchmore, a hell dimension which forces Louie to save all of his customers. At the end of this adventure, it's actually revealed that a sentient and evil onion named Sarge created the enemies with Evil Pepper in order to ruin Free Pizza Day for his mischievous reasons. Papa Louie then beats Sarge and then actually gives out the free pizzas, as promised at the start of the game. Louie is praised and probably regarded as a hero, which would definitely lead to the rise of his power. But canonically, his flip deck card, by the way, there's like a card series for like every character in these games. Papa Louie's reads, he's a lovable Italian chef who got his start selling delicious pizzas. He has a legion of fanatic customers who are willing to try anything Papa Louie has to offer, whether it's free pizza parties or the keys to his latest restaurant. Papa Louie is always trying to reward his customers. The worst thing he does in this series is probably 9 months later. In August 7th, 2007. Louie basically gives Roy a card and says, okay, good luck, bozo, and abandons him to solo the entire restaurant along with every single responsibility it holds for an undetermined amount of time. This includes cooking, serving, being in charge of the front, and probably pizza delivery still. But he's only paid in tips, and that is bad. Papa Louie only returns when Roy receives all the gold medals in the pizzeria. During his time missing, Papa Louie is off doing stuff, I guess, and wouldn't expand his empire further for another 3 years. 3 years later, December 6th, 2007. This is the legacy of Papa's Burgeria. In the neighboring town of Tastyville, in Burger Burr, Rita/Marty find a golden ticket in their mail, which is also a map for a scavenger hunt. When your character reaches the Burgeria, Louie makes his grand return with Roy, also being there, I guess. Who's running the pizzeria? Nobody knows! Wacky hijinks ensue. He gives you the entire restaurant. Maybe you own it now. Maybe you only work for him. It's not really explained. He just gives you the keys. You still get paid in tips. Still bad. May 20th, 2011, Papa's Taco Mia. Taking place in the far southwest of the Flipverse in Taco Dale, Louie still considers employment at its restaurants as prizes. This time, the keys to the restaurant are given to whoever can win a taco eating contest. Mitch or Maggie end up winning the contest after hours and hours and hours of painful taco consumption. This is revealed where the trophy is actually ownership to the taco meal. Otherwise, you make food, get wages that are definitely not going to keep the business afloat, and Louie returns with the milk once he learned how to make Mexican cuisine. Hooray! August 5th, 2011 is when Papa's Freezeria takes place. For the first time in Papa's history, your character decides to find a job instead of being a victim of peer pressure or getting ownership. Alberto or Penny apply for a job on a deserted island. The manual they're seen reading promises stress-free work and has a solid population of 12. But right after you start your first day, Louis comes in with a cruise ship named the SS Louis for what I would assume is for vacations or visiting, or this is something else. I don't really know. Everything else is the exact same, but one more thing is added to the formula, which is decorations. On the bottom of the poster your character looks at, they fail to read that employees are expected to use their earned tips on decoration, which, by the way, these decorations are worth a lot. There is no way Papa Louis is deliberately forcing his employees to only get paid in tips and then buy decorations. That's probably illegal. How did the next game is Papa's Pancakeria in March 5th of 2012. You play as Prudence and the other guy, I forgot his name. Your pet jumps out of a car and goes missing. Oh no! Louis finds your dog and takes care of it until you pick it up. And here he pulls a worse version of what he did to Roy in the pizzeria, and he just goes, "Hey, your dog likes it here. Can you work for me for a little bit? Bye." June 13th, 2012. Chuck/Mandy win a free trip to Starlight City. They get dropped off next to a giant roulette wheel where he's just watching. You get a spin that may or may not have been rigged, but who cares? You just won Papa's Ringeria. But if Starlight City is far enough to warrant a free trip, how would this make it remotely tolerable for you to work there if you need a free trip to get to Starlight City? That's like living in Ohio and then winning a free trip to Seattle and then being told to work there. You can't do that. Louis, what is wrong with you? That doesn't make sense. It's rigged for the start. From this point on, Louis doesn't end up giving away restaurants or anything. He just does some pretty nice things, and there's definitely a shift in his actions at this point. Most of these are just him hiring people that are in a bad situation or need assistance. He's a little confused, but he's definitely got the spirit. November 19th, 2012. Taylor and Peggy love baseball in Tastyville. Everyone loves baseball in Tastyville. They love pizza and baseball like all flip variants. These silly billies fail to get a seasonal ticket and decide to work at Papa's Hot Doggeria in order to watch the games for free. So everyone's shocked. They actually have to work and make the hot dogs while watching the baseball games. Otherwise, what's the point? June 5th, 2013. It's Free Burger Day. Hey, wait a minute. June 13th, 2013. It's Free Burger Day. Life in Papa's Burgeria has massively improved for everyone. There are 2 whole employees now. That's double the staff that we saw in 2010. One of them even has a car. The restaurant is full of free fellows on Burger Day until a strange shadowy man wearing a thick jacket and fedora throws a warp coin. By the way, keep track of the warp coin. This is going to be pretty important later on. They throw it into the tip jar, which brings back Sarge and all of the evil food from Munchmore. Oh no! The strange man is actually Radley Maddish. Who is he? I don't know. What does he want to do? I don't know. But he sure is bad. And we gotta beat the Burgerzillas to save the day. Eventually, same thing as before, everyone is saved, and the employees rescue Louis, who was a war prisoner at the moment because I guess he was too strong in the first game. And then everyone moves on because there's no reason at all to be sad on Free Burger Day of all days. August 7th, 2013. Louis and Roy get the approval to make a cupcake bakery in Frostfield, which is pretty dang far away from everyone else and everything else. Your stupid character drives into Roy's car, and Louis says, "Don't worry, you can pay it off by working for me." And he lets you work at the bakery to pay it off. And then you do. That's it. That's the entire, that's all of Cupcakeria. December 9th, 2013. Things get bananas. This game's plot is a love story following the elderly and the man of class, Eduardo, as he engages to Olga. Doan in Utah, these names are awful. They get wedding invitations to Portolini, but they can't get any hotel reservations for a single week in 3 months in advance. Oh no! But wouldn't, like, every other character have this issue too? Like, wouldn't everyone just fail to get hotel reservations? Eduardo, you doofus, nobody's gonna be able to make it to the wedding. So you decide, in order to get to Portolini, you buy the employee package, and then immediately get a delivery with a Pastaria uniform and an airline ticket from Burger Bird to Portolini with a date time of immediately, which is kind of uncool. 3 months later, when you hit rank 65, the wedding actually happens and Papa Louie officiates, which implies that along with giving away 3 restaurants, owning at least 6 other ones, and having a cruise ship, he is canonically a registered priest. June 14th, 2014. You apply at a donut place in an amusement park. You want to get a free fast pass to the iconic roller coaster, the Sky Ninja, I guess. Assuming your character is only doing this for the fast pass, they are a massive Dumbo and totally deserve to watch the Sky Ninja get delayed for another year, which means that your little goon is now part of Papa Louie's empire. But eventually the Sky Ninja does work, which is cool. On March 4th, 2015, the Sundays attack. This follows the SS Louie we saw back in Papa's Freezeria. The cruise is filled to the brim with people, with over a dozen guests, and they're all celebrating the Seaside Freezeria, which is like a Freezeria but on a cruise ship. Radish Guy does an evil and does the Hell Dimension thing and sends everyone to Munchmore again, which is not cool. But it doesn't matter because the bad gets no win. He doesn't win because he's a bad guy, and bad guys don't win. Everyone celebrates their victory by running off the ship as fast as possible. The next game takes place on June 10th of 2015. If you are lactose intolerant, please cover your ears because I'm talking about Papa's Cheeseria in Toastwood. The iconic band Scarlet and the Shakers are gonna perform on opening night. But right after checking in with Louie, all the equipment is stolen because of the situation. Scarlet and or Rudy have to work and earn money to get new equipment. Honestly, good job, Louie. That's pretty dang respectful. You understood the situation and you tried to help. After months of working, you reach rank 65. The cool man policeman Hank arrests Guy Mortadello, but all the equipment is returned and they have a concert at the grilled cheese restaurant. Hooray! March 14th, 2016. Cecilia, or Tim with 2 M's instead of 1, find a dream job working at a dance studio in their local Whisk View Mall. Really shooting for the stars there. You apply and get the job. Woohoo! But the store is closed for lease when you arrive. Oh no! Then Louie skedaddles to your devastated character and offers you the chance to work at his bakery. In my opinion, that seems better than a dance studio. You work there, same old, but at the ending of the game, this is probably the nicest thing Papa Louie does. After 9 months of working, Papa Louie gives you a Christmas present. He buys the closed dance studio for your character. That's a pretty expensive and nice thing to do for an employee, so I gotta give props to him for that, even though he doesn't have knees. The next game in the timeline is Slider Scouts. It was released in October 4th of 2016. It's a mobile game. December 13th, 2016, it has officially been 1 whole decade since the pizzas have attacked, and Louie opens a sushi place, which is literally on the opposite side of the pizzeria and everything else, but that's okay. Matt, or Clover, win a trip to Sakura Bay, but not to get a new restaurant, but just to get an early tour. Yes, you, of all people, get to go across the country to get a sneak peek of that sushi fast food place from Papa Louie. But you, being the silly character you are, knock over a lucky cat statue, and Louie decides it's no big deal, nothing can go wrong. The next day, everything goes wrong. Nobody comes to the grand opening, and Louie blames it on the cat statue. Not because you're in a deserted area across the entire country, it's just because of you. So, as punishment, Louie decides that you can work for him, and eventually he'll use those tips to buy a giant cat statue, which he does. He buys a giant golden cat statue, and a ton of customers show up, which is cool and awesome. A year and a half later, it's July 24th, 2018, and Carlo Romano and or Coily go to the big city to celebrate the fact that they all have weird names. They go to Onion Town, a town with that name because apparently onions fell into the ocean at some point. You do stuff, you go shopping, and you even take a picture next to Onion Jenny. Whoa! Tubular. But just like Pastaria, but objectively dumber, you can't find a hotel. A very kind hotel worker offers you a room for rent, but then it's revealed that this kind gentleman is actually Guy Mortadello. Oh no, he's back for vengeance. He's out of jail now and he steals your things. Oh great heavens, what are you to do now? Next day, July 25th, 2018. You wake up and you find out that your room was actually the Scooperia under construction. And Louie employs you after realizing you don't have any money to get home or get your things or some sort of third thing. Same old game, same old stuff. And eventually Guy Mortadello gets arrested. Again. Papa Louie hands you back all the things you were stolen and even gets you a golden ice cream scoop. Large time gap, 2.5 years later, it's March 2nd of 2021. Your character applies for a job and is hired at the Mocharia in New Pepperton. There's no twist this time, that's the entire thing. But you do have to work in a documentary that will premiere at the Sugarplex Film Fest. That happens and you get awards. Customers are also being credited for being customers. Good job, Wally! And this brings us to the most recent point in the timeline. It is February 22nd, 2022, which is actually 2/22/22, and it's on a Tuesday. This does not matter to the plot, just wanted to throw that out. Olivia and Wyland B are looking for a job at Oilseed Springs. They apply and get hired at Papa's Cluckeria, and 3 weeks later, you get a notification that the Cluckeria is competing against other chicken places and other unassorted restaurants nearby. Papa Louie responds by abandoning you. That's right, the current most recent event in this series is a war arc. One by one, each enemy falls. Mortadello is back. Just kidding, he's gone now because of health violations. He was serving pigeon meat. As Valentine's Day approaches, which would mean that we're currently in February of 2023, New Coop closes because investors like Cluckeria's slushies more, I guess. That's it, that's their entire thing. Summer of 2023, the Crumple sisters have a new recipe at the Crumple family chicken restaurant place, and it's actually the secret formula that was stolen from Papa Louie. Papa Louie returns and the Crumple sisters are questioned for stealing Papa Louie's Krabby Patty secret formula, and as a punishment they are thrown into a maximum security prison with no chance of escape. The chicken sandwich wars are over, and Papa is victorious. But just kidding, the following day, it's revealed that the Crumple sisters used a warp coin from when the burgers attacked, all the way back in 2013. At this point, and that's from what I can tell, everything that's gone on. I have no idea how Papa Louie is such a tyrant he is. I have no idea what all of these customers do in their free time besides eat food at unassorted restaurants across the country, and I have no idea how large the actual country is. Is it even a country? Is it an island? Is it the entire planet? I don't care. I don't think you should care either. This is a silly cartoon series about cooking food. The characters don't even have knees. I want to see Roy be successful. I want to see redemption arc for Guy Mortadello. I want to see what the Crumple sisters are up to. But maybe, just maybe, we'll find out what all of these characters have in store in the next installment, or at least what I think the next installment will be, Papa's Stir Fryeria. Okay, but seriously, how did he afford the SS Louie?